This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is Not America's Sweetheart, Davian. And
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit, Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Howdy, y'all. This is Tomas Cachumeno Silva, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show with Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., and it is a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with Tomas Silva, El Cachumeno.
Yeah. Howdy, y'all.
Howdy yourself.
Hi. You can find me at El Cachumeno on Facebook, Instagram. I even have YouTube. I have some footage out, and if you want to see me wrestle live in person, you can see me at Motivate Pro Wrestling at Borger, Texas, and Square Circle Pro in Lubbock, Texas, and then I have a few Albuquerque shows coming up later in the year.
Okay. Are those with new promotions?
What happened?
Are those with new promotions that you'll be working with?
Here in Albuquerque?
Yeah, the ones you said coming up.
Yeah, those ones are newer promotions. One of them is ran by, it's Phase 1. They used to be an old promotion, but they're coming back. And then the other one is with Gina Rivero at OTR.
Oh, yeah. All right, and merchandise?
It's mainly just, as you see me right now, I'm working on getting more merchandise, but right now I'm just selling photos pretty much.
Okay.
I used to sell hats, but I'm working on making more because they all sold out.
And that is a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's pretty much a good problem to have.
Right. And you don't have to go looking for it. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox.
Perfect.
All right, let's get into it. You work for Motivate Pro Wrestling. Can you tell us about your relationship with the company?
It's been a very prosperous relationship. I made my wrestling debut there, January 7th, I think, of last year. Yeah. I was in a tag team match with JKM against Best Picture. And that was their first show at the Borger Dome. So it's been a year now that they've been doing that there at the Borger Dome. And I've been there pretty much for majority of their run.
It's an interesting, that was their first show at the Dome as well. So it was the debut at the arena and for yourself as well, no?
Yes. A lot of pressure.
And I mean, that building has kind of been a staple for Motivate, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've been consistently putting on shows there. If it's not in the Dome, it's at least in the ballroom, which I think also looks nice too. So it's been at least a consistent venue that they've been at.
Well, you mentioned that you've been wrestling for a little over a year this month.
Yes.
It's from January 7th, 2023 to January 7th, 2024. How have you measured your progress?
It's been pretty much with every match. My trainer Gina Rivera says that you're only as good as your last match. So when it comes to my matches, I try and do either something different that I did the last time, or something, or just approach something a different way. But I've been just trying to get booked more as a performer, and hopefully try and branch out to different locations. 'Cause I think it's great to wrestle a lot in certain venues, but it's also great to branch out and go to new states so that other people can get to see my work in person.
All right. And you actually branched out to Arizona as well, no?
Yes, I've been out to Arizona a few times now. I was going to go this past weekend too, but due to the crazy snow here, and from here to Arizona, they had to cancel the show.
It snows in New Mexico?
Luckily, well, not often, but like it was mainly towards Arizona because once we started getting to Arizona, that's when they started shutting off the roads and things got very dangerous. But luckily, we made it home safe that day.
Okay. Now, going back, not technically going back to your first match again, but your partner in that match, JKM, he was your partner for a time, then you
Yes.
turned on him, to be added to Lukas Scratch's faction, and then JKM actually joined you in that faction. Can you tell us about your relationship with JKM? It kind of seems a little up and down.
I mean, it kind of is. It's all over the place. The thing is, as another person who trained at OTR, we definitely look at each other as a measuring stick, and it comes down to a lot of it being competition. Like we both want to be the best, and a lot of times we're put in situations where we have to see who is the best or who's the best at this moment. And yeah, I mean, and there's times where you just gotta go into business for yourself. I mean, you've seen how good Lukas Scratch is. He's doing some interesting stuff at Motivate. So him at Squared Circle Pro. So I just had to get in on that. And then I don't know, JKM. He's a competitor that I feel like me and him are gonna cross paths plenty times throughout our lives. So I just gotta keep my eye on him for sure.
JKM, good friend
Yes.
or better enemy?
I would say a better enemy, because as a friend, he's all right. It's kind of hard to talk to someone who wears a mask, but as an enemy, it's much better to see him as someone that I can try and be better than, you know?
I got you.
Yeah.
Speaking of people in mask, your other faction mate Poison has a mask. Alistair doesn't.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your relationship with those two?
Okay. So Poison, I actually got to do his first match when he made his debut. It was against me at HIW in Arizona.
Wow.
So yeah, that's when I learned that you never really can. You think you can understand the guy by looking at him, but the mask and just his pure dead eyes really throw you off. So he's a character that I'm glad he's in the faction because he is a very vicious character. I also have to keep my eye on him. That's the thing about the gallery is we're all together as a group, but at the same time we're together because we're all vicious in intent. So our intensity is what keeps us together, but also we have to be wary of each other because you never know what could happen. There's a lot of egos in there. So Poison is a smart man, and lately he's been doing this thing with a sign. I don't know. Some people like it, some people don't. It's interesting, but he says it. The sign says something, but I've never seen anything on it. But I don't know. I think he has some issues he has to deal with. And then Timothy Alistair is the metal maniac, the metal evangelist, as he called himself. This man loves his metal. I like to poke at him, but I know I shouldn't because he is very vicious. He's the type of man that will hit you very hard, and you just have to know that when you're going to step in the ring with Timothy Alistair, you are going to leave with bruises. So I know that I'm in a faction with a ton of hard hitters, and though I got to watch my back, I'm happy to be here at this era of time and get to be with Lukas Scratch trying out this idea that he has of an evil group.
It does seem like, even though it's watch your back in a sense, it seems like you all have the same goal. You are early in your careers, and you all kind of want to succeed, and you are kind of maybe using each other to get to that goal. Would that be an accurate description?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. At the end of the day, all of us, we have the same goals of just wanting to be successful in the wrestling industry. And all of us are very driven to achieve that goal. So though we have these moments where we're at each other's throats, we still have to like figure out ways to help each other, because at the end of the day, we did train together. So we want our school to look good to everyone else, because we are all OTR guys, and if we can go out and keep getting booked at other places and go out and keep showing the talented stuff that we've worked on and the moves that we're able to pull off, or the stories we're able to tell, then we can get to that goal together. But it can be a rocky road, but a lot of times that main goal is what keeps us all driven on what we're doing.
Well, reaping the rewards at this moment would be your manager, Lukas
Oh,
Scratch. Can you tell us about your relationship with Lukas?
Lukas Scratch. He is a sneaky one. I didn't meet him till my second match at Borger, Texas, where he came out and he was looking for someone with that it factor to add to his faction. And I didn't know he was going to come out. JKM didn't know. But in that moment, I chose that whatever this being was saying to me would seem like greener pastures than where I was going, because I've always saw myself as a solo act, and I've never been much for tag team wrestling. So I wanted to take that chance to see what I could get with Lukas Scratch. And so far, it's been a journey we've gone through. Like, we've gone from a losing streak to now we even have been on kind of a roll. And we even have Cass, who used to be Jay Hazzard's manager.
Right.
She turned on Jay Hazzard and now has joined us at Motivate Pro Wrestling. So Lukas Scratch is a very good at being influential, as you can tell from his multiple factions over many programs. So I feel like he's definitely someone that's going to push the envelope in wrestling. And if I can get on that as early as possible, I'll fit myself in, as to say.
Yes, he definitely has one of the most soothing voices in pro wrestling, I'd say.
Yes, definitely. I believe that man, if he was not in wrestling today, he could do radio, he could do anything. That voice is gold. It's like Velveeta, it's liquid gold, but as a voice.
That being said, what's a pet peeve about Lukas that you just don't understand?
How he always has to get his way. I mean, I did sign knowing that he was gonna be giving me advice and trying to steer me in a certain direction, but at the same time, a lot of times when he gives advice, it's what he wants at that moment, and he wants it to get done. Like at this last show when I fought JKM, JKM was jumped, and the bell hadn't rang, so we needed to get the ref awake and get JKM in the ring so I could possibly pin him, because he was just jumped by many guys. But once we got him in the ring, Lukas Scratch had a change of heart and instead told me to finish him. So I instead of getting to just pin him, I had to pick up JKM and end him by throwing him onto my knee and pinning him. So there is moments where I am forced to do things that I may not want to do, but I understand at the end of the day, Lukas Scratch just wants me to win and look like the best that I can look out there.
The ends justify the means.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I did get a win, so that's what he tells me is at least we got a win.
And I mean, you mentioned her. Cass has joined the battle.
Yes.
Um, did you in in an intense match against Jay Hazzard, she did turn on him. Was that something you knew beforehand that Lucas let you in on, or was you just as surprised as everybody else was?
Uh, it was a plan that Lucas had me in on. That's one thing Lucas Scratch is really good at is just having a backup plan. Because I mean, sometimes when we're out there, things don't go as planned, as well, not planned, or as we've trained for or prepared for. So he always has to have a little something up his sleeve. So for a while now, he had been talking to Cass and kind of getting in her ear. And then one day he comes up to me and tells me, I think it's done. And I ask him, what does that mean? He's like, I think we might have got into the mind of Cass. So while you're out there tonight, just prepare that she might not be on Jay's side. So from there, I just had to wait and keep fighting. And then luckily, Scratch's plan came in at a perfect time and I was able to capitalize.
All right. Well, we've spoken about JKM, good friend, bitter enemy, all of that. I don't think you could call Jay Hazard a friend by any stretch of the imagination. Can you tell us about your rivalry with him? Because it does seem like it is somewhat intense at this point.
Well, it all would have been water under the bridge if he would have just stayed out of our business. I was still had my eyes focused on JKM, and I went out and uh, laid a beating to him after one of his matches with, I believe, Dr. Payne it was. Yes, and then after his beating, me and Dr. Payne and Scratch arranged that we would hold him and beat him up and make sure that Payne can put the straitjacket on him. Well, as Payne was putting the straitjacket on him, Jay Hazzard takes it upon himself to run out from the back and run to the aid of JKM, which I do not understand. I mean, what does a Viking want with some guy that wears a mask and thinks he's a superhero or something? But it's okay. That's beside the fact. So from there, we decided that after the show, we would take matters into our own hands and show him what happened if he stepped in our business. So me and Scratch went out and attacked him backstage. And for some reason, he thought that that was cause to call me out for a match. So from there, it turned into this series of us just fighting each other month after month until finally we were able to convince Cass to come to the winning side. And since then, I mean, I've only seen him one more time, which was at Top of Texas for Royal Rumble, and not a Royal Rumble, I forgot what it was. It's the same concept, though. But when I was ejected from the ring, out of nowhere, Jay Hazard comes at me and hits me with the cookie sheet. And then as he's walking away, he yells at me, "You know what you did." I mean, I know what I did, but still, ow, a cookie sheet is not very nice. So I will always remember that in the back of my head. And I think for now, he's not something to worry about, but he is someone that I will not keep my eye off of.
It's fair to say that this rivalry isn't over by any means.
Definitely. I would say that for sure.
All right. Now, we've talked about all your faction mates. One of them you did fail to mention. Can you tell us about Betty?
Betty. Oh, Betty. Betty is my right-hand woman. I take her everywhere I go. I need her, and she talks to me. I don't know if anybody can understand that, if a bout could talk to someone, but she talks to me. And she's, sir, I listen to Scratch's advice, but a lot of the times I also listen to Betty's advice. And she doesn't like that I'm working with Scratch, but I make it work. So for those who don't understand, Betty is the bout that I bring out with me for every show. It was passed down in my family for generations, and I use her as needed. So say if I need a nice weapon, I can use her belt buckle, or I could use her as a whip. Or a lot of times I use it just to intimidate my foes. But Betty is someone in my family that's always been by our sides and has always helped guide us in the right way. So if you ever see me with my ear close to the belt, I'm not crazy. The belt's actually talking to me. It's just you guys can't hear it because you don't have the Cachumeno blood in you. So, yeah.
You said that belt was passed down through your family. What kind of belt is it, may I ask?
It's a leather belt that was worn during a rodeo show. My my great grandfather, he used to do rodeo, and that was one of his championship belts, and he got it embroidered Betty just because he wanted to give it a nice name. And after he got it embroidered, just from there, it always talked to our family. So it's been passed down for generations, and so far none of us have lost it. So she always stays on my right hand, and I always make sure she's close by.
Sounds like Betty is the angel on your shoulder while Lucas is on the other.
Yeah, you could say that in a way. I mean, at the same time, she does tell me to viciously whip them with her, but at the same time, she does just want me to win also, so they both have a similar goal at the end of the day.
All right. I think that's a great segue into Thomas's bizarre adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
Oof, Jesus, like there's a lot of them. Heck, I can't even tell you about the one that just happened this weekend. We were trying to go to Arizona for POR, and on the way, the snow just got insane. So we tried taking a back road because the traffic on the highway was backed up, because as we were driving, we could just see semis that were just flipped or just there, stuck on the side of the highway. And we were driving, and eventually we got to this one point where we're going up a hill, and this truck in front of us decides to stop. Like, because he's trying to slow down because he thinks slowing down will get him traction, not knowing that he actually will just make it worse. Right. So he gets to this point where he stops, and then we're stuck behind him. So we couldn't get any traction, and this was Gino, me, JKM, and Joe, Poison, Chester, Joe Scott. And what's it called? Me and JKM, just in a moment, we had to work together. Though we don't like each other, we got out and we tried our best to push with the ice being as slippery as it was, and we couldn't get no traction. Oh, wow. The fact that I guess we were putting some pressure down on the back wheels gave it enough traction to where we could get back into like moving. So the car started moving, and I'm still holding on. Luckily, my shoes had no traction, so I could just slide as the car is pulling me. JKM had basketball shoes, so he got every bit of traction, so he had to like run as the car's going. So me and him look at each other, and we're like, okay, now let's go. So we ran, opened the door, jumped in the car, and we just kept going. And then later on, a little down the road, me and Poison needed to pee. So we're like, Gino, I'm sorry, I know it's cold, but can you please pull over so we could pee? So he pulls over, and he happens to pull over right next to this, being someone who's from a ranch, well, my ranch didn't have cows. I thought this was a cow. And I'm like, look, guys, there's a cow right here. So there I am all, I don't know, thinking I'm cool, taking a picture of the cow. The cow jumps in the air, runs away. I get scared. And then I'm like, well, I still got to pee. So I'm looking at Joe. He's away from the cow. And then if I go the other way, the guys can see my whole business. So I'm like, I guess I got to pee in front of this cow. So there I was peeing in front of the cow, and I'm like, this is so weird. And the cow's just looking at me. And then later on, actually, to find out, because I went and showed my parents, and I'm like, look at this cow. And my dad's all, that's not a cow because of the gear he has. That's a bull. And I'm like, oh no. Because go back to when I was peeing, I turned to Joe and I'm like, hey, Joe, I never felt more powerful than peeing while looking at this cow. Just because it was at any moment it could just run at me. Now I know that that was a bull and I'm just very dumb. So whatever you guys do, if there's a bull on the side of the road, don't mess with it. Or even if it looks like a cow, don't mess with it.
And especially don't pee in front of it.
I mean, if you got to do what you got to do, just make sure you keep your eye on the cow. If it runs at you, then just run away, I hope. Cows are fast, though.
All right. That was a bizarre adventure, to say the least.
There you go. That's one of them for you.
Now, you mentioned you have a ranch, a family ranch. Can you tell us about being on the family ranch?
Yeah. So my family's from Las Vegas, New Mexico, which not a lot of people know exist. It's a city off of the freeway that really doesn't get much population, like not population, much tourism. All they have there that's like what's considered their mall is a Walmart. So that's where like you basically go there, you get everything you need, and you see everyone in the whole town. So my family, we have a ranch up there, and it's been passed down through generations. Initially, it was my great 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 grandfather's ranch, who was actually part of a gang in the town. The gang was they were known as the Silva Gang. They ran in the Western times, so like kind of like the Billy the Kid era over in Las Vegas, New Mexico. So my great grandfather was actually the hitman for the gang.
Ooh.
So that's where the name El Cachumeno came from. They called my family the Cachumenos because Cachumeno, even though it's not like a proper Spanish word, it's New Mexico Spanish. So there's Cuban Spanish, there's Puerto Rican Spanish, there's Mexican Spanish. We speak New Mexico Spanish, which is like a mix between New Mexico slang and American slang and Spanish from Mexico. So it's all mixed together and it's turned into this new form that's very laid back and kind of country sounding. So we got this name Cachumeno, and it means to be twisted. And they flipped it to where it's like you have a twisted mind. So all of my family was given that from my grandfather. So a lot of us live up to the name because like my grandma, my grandfather's mom, she was known for loving to get into fistfights. And as a woman from her era, that wasn't very common, but she was a woman that would every day try and get in a fist fight with her neighbors. And that's what we like as Cachumenos. We're very action driven, fight heavy oriented people.
Interesting. And if you do ever break away from Lukas Scratch, I think you have your own faction name right there, the Silva Gang.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a back thought of mine, but I'm still very young in the business. Once I get some more knowledge, then I'll open up my own business of the Silva Gang, and we can run rampant. Because I have actually thought about that, but I haven't found the proper people to run with me yet.
Hell yeah. Are there animals on your ranch?
Not anymore. When I was younger, there was before, so that was at a time where I couldn't do anything with them. I could just look at them from a distance. But as times have changed and as stuff has, it's hard. It's kind of harder to be a farmer nowadays with the economy and all that. So now we mainly just grow like fruits and vegetables, and now it's mainly just a place for our family to build their houses, and it's a property that we own now. So we just try and use it for family to have homes and just use it to whatever we can,
I gotcha. Okay. Now, you're from New Mexico. And from what I've heard and things I've experienced, there are a lot of interesting things that happen in New Mexico. Um, have you ever had an extraterrestrial experience?
Mm. Me personally, no, but I'm always keeping my eyes to the skies. I I've always been interested in the extraterrestrial, and I very much do believe they exist. But I haven't had my personal experience, but it is always something that I'm looking for, especially when I'm on the road. Those late nights when we're driving and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're trying not to fall asleep, so like your mind is like, all right, let's see if we can find some aliens tonight. So that's what I'd be looking around for, trying to find some weird lights in the sky or anything like that. But nothing quite yet. But I mean, New Mexico is just a very creepy place in general with a lot of that stuff. So uh, you never know. I haven't done it yet, but if I come across some aliens, I will. You'll be the first to know.
Oh yeah, getting an exclusive here.
Yeah.
Alright. Now, when you started your in-ring career, you were you were still Thomas Silva, but you had the H in Thomas. Can you tell us why you dropped it?
Um, it was a typo error. I so and then it was something I was kind of fighting for, because like fighting in between, because it's hard a lot of times when I tell people my name is Tomas, because the Spanish version of Tomas is spelled without the H. But a lot of times when I show people that aren't Spanish tongue, they think it's Thomas the way it's spelled. And I thought for a minute there, I'm like, if I just put the H in there, maybe they'll start doing the th sound on their own. But no, then it just made it worse. So I was like, all right, I just got to stick with my Spanish roots. If they get it wrong, then I could just be mean to them and be like, just say my name right, you know? So, I mean, at the same time too, though, it's not that big of a deal. People are gonna get my name wrong, whether they like me or not. So, I just made the deal to just drop the H. Except, I did it. I am still trying to decide if I should drop the H on my email. I know I should, but at the same time, it's like, but then I got to make a new email, and it's a process. But who knows? Maybe I'll get there.
Oh, as somebody that has to that made his own email, I totally get that. it's,
Yeah,
it would not be
it's.
worth it just to take an inch off.
Oh my God, yeah, I already have so many emails. It's hard to balance them all. Like,
Oh yeah.
because I also make music too. So like, I have my music emails, I have my wrestling emails, I have my personal email, and then I have to remember the passwords for all of them. And I'm like, this isn't fun anymore.
And I apologize if I've been getting your name wrong in through this interview as well.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm used to it by now. There's worse things people have called me at shows, so I feel like if you call me Thomas, it's better than that.
Well,
I
I will say Thomas can on through the rest of the interview.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. Right. You mentioned your music. You are a freestyle rapper, no?
Yes, yes, I am.
Can you tell us about that?
Yes, I've been doing that since 14. I started. That's how I first started ever getting on, like, well, performing in front of an audience. And so I was taught that at a place called Warehouse 508, which is a venue that teaches youth very how do I explain it? Uh, Basically, they have classes that normally a school wouldn't. So they taught stuff like music production, DJ, rapping, and sewing, and pretty much anything that like fit more on the art side that wasn't conventional. So I went there and I took a lot of classes. So I took DJ, I took the rap classes, I took the music production classes, and all of it was just for me. I've always loved music and I wanted to just try and learn as much as I can. And then I met my mentor in hip hop, which was Wake Self. He was a popular rapper here in New Mexico until he passed away in 2019.
Sorry for your
And
loss.
thank you. And he's the one who mainly taught me how to freestyle, or taught me how to get my mind into freestyling. Because at the end of the day, it's mainly just improv, but it's improv that you're doing to a beat. So a lot of times my practice was my mom loved going shopping. So when we would go to the store, I would break off from her and I would go find an aisle. And I would start at the end of the aisle and I would freestyle every object in that aisle till I got to the end of it. And then I'll go check on my mom, see if she's almost done. If she's not, I'd go back and do some more. So that turned into a point where I got the skill to where every show I end with a freestyle exercise, which is something I learned from Wake Self. It was how he would end his shows, and he would have the audience members reach into their pockets and pull out objects, and I would try and freestyle them to the best of my ability. But so far, I've done pretty good. The whole goal is so that people can stump me. But so far, I haven't been stumped too many times. A lot of times, I get a lot of the same objects. Like, I've seen a Bic lighter so many times that I'm tired about rapping about Bic lighters. So if you ever see me at a show and you have a Bic lighter, keep it in your pocket. Thank you.
Is that it seems like you're very serious about your music. Is that something that you're going to explore fully like you are pro wrestling?
Yes, it's kind of my idea is I would like everything to work in unison. So I mean, I've always loved the music industry and the music uh, community, may I say. I'm not with the industry, more the community. So just being a part of it and doing music stuff makes me happy. And so does wrestling. So I feel like if I can keep working on music while doing wrestling and having it work together, like I feel like that could be a good thing. Like currently I have a few entrance songs, but one of the songs I use at places that prefer that I don't use copyright music is one of my own beats, actually, because I produce music. So one of my entrance songs is Cisco Kid, which you can find on YouTube at Gravity Records EST 2019. And I use my own beat as my entrance music because then I can just ask myself for permission, so I'm hoping maybe I can get to a point where I can maybe start branching out and making entrance music for other artists. But I've been so cooped up with wrestling at the moment, I haven't really worked on making beats as often as I used to. So I feel like I need to start getting that back into my rhythm so that I can just get good at it again and have everything all work together.
Oh yeah. Could you maybe drop a beat or two right now?
Like a freestyle?
Sure.
Sure. All right. I kick sick flows, you wonder why, it's my derangement. I be out here just wrestling with entertainment. Yo, can't sustain the pain that I am laying. Suplex you, make your brain go insane. Wait, hold up, yeah, it's Tomas Silva back again, kicking flows, and I'm here chilling with my friends. Doing all of this, and we running to the end. OTR, yo, we coming for your ends.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
And that would be a great segue into the colossal question. Let's say that they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Sheesh. First 3 songs on my movie soundtrack. So then I really got to think about the songs I always be singing. Okay. All right. I could think of my first one for sure.
Okay.
Because this is my song I listen to just to calm me down and at any moment. Because I know all the words to it, and it's going to be "Take It Easy" by the Eagles.
Okay.
I feel like that captures a lot of me on my a lot of me pretty much. I don't know. Man, that's a tough question. Now I got to figure out 2 more songs, man. Oh man. Uh, um,
We could come back to it if you need more time to think.
yeah, we're gonna have to come back to it because it'll be something in the back of my mind, and I feel like there's 2 songs that can perfectly encapsulate it, but I haven't got it yet. But I will get back to it.
Okay. We'll put a pin in the colossal question for the time being.
Okay.
Can you tell us your love of video games and Minecraft?
My love of video games and Minecraft.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, shoot. Wow. Yes, I've been a video game collector for a lot of my life. There's a local store in Albuquerque called Noble, which I frequent often because they sell like games that people bring in, and it's like a resale thing. So I constantly go there to see what their upkeep is. But yeah, I've been very into gaming all my life. I can't do any online games because I am too impatient for that. So I prefer like the older games that just have a storyline and I can play on my own time. But oh my God, Minecraft, I sink so much time into Minecraft, and I it's even worse when I get into the mode where I'm watching wrestling and playing Minecraft, because then at that moment no one can get to me. I'm just focused in. So yeah, I mean, and then for a while there, I was doing a gaming channel on YouTube, but I that's another thing I need to keep up with because I enjoyed it a lot, but it's just a lot of work.
Right.
Yeah.
What was you making in Minecraft? Because I don't personally play it, but I've seen some very elaborate things made in Minecraft.
Me personally, I like just building houses uh and yeah, pretty much building the houses. I like the architecture of it, and like just going out and finding specific materials for like certain ideas I have. 'Cause I'm a very goal-oriented person, so like if I figure out like a little idea for a way something could look, I'm like, this has to get done now. So Minecraft just really feeds into that very well. And that, and like I've just realized this, Ubisoft games are very dangerous for me. 'Cause I started playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I realized why I can't play Ubisoft games too much, because all the side quests, they kill me, because I will like go out and try to do every single side quest until I have like everything complete, and I never get there, and it stresses me out. But I like that.
There's some games that have their side quests aren't that vigorous, but I completely understand what you mean about Assassin's Creed. Not Valhalla, but the one before that, Odyssey. It felt
Mm.
like there was a never ending amount of side quests, and I was like, how many side quests are there in this?
Oh my God. For real, like I just got through the first level of Valhalla, and now I actually have freedom to go explore the map. And I'm stuck on one little island that I just found out that you could do so many little side quests that I haven't even gone to the second mission. So eventually I will get to that second mission in Valhalla.
He was like, oh, what was the storyline again?
Exactly, because then I go back to like doing the story, and I'm like, wait, what was I even doing?
Yeah. I mean, you could start
Exactly.
a new game, but then it takes forever to get through the cutscenes.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like the cutscenes, that's what kills me. I can't. I'm a very ADHD driven person, so like my ADHD like is what keeps me doing everything. So I don't know, I can't stay focused on one thing too long, and that's why I love wrestling, because there's always something I can learn or something I could do to keep my mind busy.
Alright. Love how we brought it right back around to wrestling.
Hey, that's me every day. Everything, like my girlfriend says it all the time. She's like, I can see the gears are moving. And I'm like, what do you mean? Because there'll be times where we'll just be out eating, and I'll go outside and I'll be like, "Wow, if we put like a wrestling ring here, this would be really nice." And she's all, "We're trying to just chill right now. Why are you working?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I can't turn it off." But it's good. It's good to be like that. As you understand, you probably are a hustling person also.
Yes, I could very much relate. Now, do you have your two songs for the colossal question?
Okay. Yes. So I feel like Onion Head by Sean Price has to be in there
Okay.
because Sean Price has that viciousness and like just pure lyrical madness that I love, and I feel like that encapsulates my vibe also, because I can be very, very take it easy, or I can be very in your face, depending on the moment. But I prefer to take it easy, may I say.
Okay.
You've seen how I've won a few times. I like to take things easy, may I say. So that's that one. So Take It Easy by the Eagles, Onion Head by Sean Price, and I don't know. I think I would have to say "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" by Michael Jackson, because I like Michael Jackson and I like to dance. What can I say?
Oh yeah.
I grew up in a Chicano household, so dancing was always a big part of our heritage. So I grew up learning how to dance from when I learned how to walk. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
All right. Now that we got the soundtrack down, everybody knows you make the soundtrack first, then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays
Mm,
Tomas, and you can't say yourself because you are legally obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
dang. Okay. Man, who would play me? Who even? Man, I gotta think of what people say I look like now. 'Cause there's some people that are like, "You look like this guy," and now I can't even remember. It's hard to be on the spot like this.
Hey, it could be
Uh,
anybody you want. You're the producer. It could be man, woman, alien. It doesn't even necessarily have to be the genre of a
dang it.
documentary.
I'm a I'm gonna go the fun route, and I'm gonna choose Ryan Reynolds because I don't look like him, but sheesh, if I did, that'd be cool.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I mean, I love La Bamba, but Lou Diamond Phillips don't look like Ricky Valens, but he played a great La Bamba, played a great Richie Valens.
All right.
So that's it, Ryan Reynolds. That's my choice.
Hell yeah. Now every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be three people significant to you and your story that would be in your movie,
Ah,
and who would play them?
damn, that's rough. Okay, because I think the most significant off the top of my head would be Dante King, Gypsy Mac, and JKM. But
Okay.
now I gotta find people who will play them. Ah, man, who would be a good Dante King? Because they gotta be athletic. Dang.
I mean, they don't need.
Um.
That's why CGI is invented. They don't necessarily have to be athletic.
All right. All right. Okay. So let me see here. Dante. Hmm. You know what? I would have fun. I'm just gonna have fun with this. I think Dante should be played by Robert De Niro because honestly, Dante can be serious or he cannot be serious, but you never know. I think that'd be a good casting call.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then for Gypsy, ah, probably someone very funny. Screw it. It'll be Tiffany Haddish because I think Tiffany Haddish is funny. And
Okay.
then because this is my story, and me and J Cam are always at each other's throats, so J Cam's gonna be played by Danny DeVito.
Okay.
That's my star cast. I feel like that would do great in the box office. I mean, if you saw that the movie had Ryan Reynolds, Robert De Niro, freaking Danny DeVito, Tiffany Haddish, I'd go see that movie.
How? I mean, if all of these movies actually got made, Danny DeVito would have so much work.
Honestly, Danny DeVito deserves it.
He does.
Yeah, hardest working man in the movie industry. What can I say? Danny DeVito.
And I cannot agree more. It does sound like a fantastic movie, and you could pre-order the tickets now.
Yes. Give it all to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Alright, on to a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
I think it's the best thing you can do. I love pineapple on pizza. I don't know. Especially you got some ham on there. Like, then again, I ate a lot of things. I went to a hot dog place in Albuquerque that I got, what was it? I got like chocolate syrup and like peanut butter and jelly, some SpaghettiOs on it. Yeah. It was a place where you could like order the hot dog with any topping. You just check mark what toppings you want. So, I mean, I feel like I'm not the best judgment on what good food should be, but I believe pineapple on pizza is amazing.
Okay. What's your spirit Pokemon?
My spirit Pokemon?
Yes.
Huh. I think it would be. I think it'd be Mewtwo. People wouldn't expect that from me. I'm surprisingly smart, but I'm just very quiet because I speak with my mind. No, I've always liked Mewtwo and thought he was just super OP, and I'm like, if I could be that, that'd be great.
Hey, you're preaching to a Mewtwo fan here as well.
Yeah, you know what's up.
Yeah. Now, we love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for Doug? THUG.
THUG? Doug?
THUG, yes.
No, I'm sorry, the first thing that comes to my head is Tony Hawk Underground, but that's just because, the video game thing. What is the acronym? THUG?
T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail, because a Doug can't spell. Yes.
Okay.
We love the late great Tracy Smothers, trying to keep the memory alive on the show.
Heck yeah.
Weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical Rock.
I think I can make it work. I mean, we do this thing in training. We call it fighting the invisible stand. And the whole concept is you are fighting an invisible person. So you have to figure out what that would look like. And we do that quite often, and I've gotten pretty good at it, but I think I could figure out a way to wrestle a Rock and make it a question though, who's gonna win? Who do you think would win, The Rock or me?
Oh, well, The Rock is the world champion, so obviously he's going over.
Okay. I think I can make that work. Okay. Yeah. I say I go to hit The Rock with the belt, I trip, and then I fall and hit my head on The Rock, and then The Rock pins me. 1, 2, 3, and there I go. Rock is your reigning, defending heavyweight champion.
Well, just for context, there is this wrestler named Psycho Mike that did indeed wrestle a Rock for over 15 minutes.
Wow.
In a Tungsten Man match. that's an Ironman match that lasts for 2 weeks.
Wow, that is impressive. I will give it to them because yeah, to get that done, I'm impressed.
Yes.
I haven't wrestled a rock yet, but there is eventually soon. My coach wants me to wrestle a broom, so we'll see who wins there.
Well, you might want to ask Aaron Williams about that because he's actually wrestled a broom.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm not sure if he went over, but Mike did not go over. Mike lost that match.
Oh, I mean, I can understand. I can understand that. Brooms are pretty tough. I mean, I'm kind of a germaphobe at times, and do you know how dirty a broom can be?
Considering
They touch
what
the
you like
floor.
me. All right. On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Okay. Where do I see myself in 5 years? In 5 years, I see myself. Hopefully, I'm wrestling in internationally at that point. That's what I'm hoping. Right now, I'm currently still working on getting my passport, but once I get that secured, I hope to start branching out, even if it's at least, I guess, quote unquote, locally international, where it's like Mexico and Canada. At least it's somewhere different than the United States. So hopefully in 5 years, I will have branched out internationally and got to see many places.
Well, what countries did you have your eyes on?
Personally, major countries of like just Mexico, Japan, and England, and pretty much so far that just because I would like to go there and learn a bit of each of their styles, like Japanese strong style, British strong style, a little bit of lucha, because I like the concept of being well-rounded and being able to have these multiple abilities just in my back pocket for any moment.
Right. And that's, unfortunately not a lot of wrestlers grasp. Like, it's good to learn all aspects of pro wrestling, all styles, rather than, just one or two.
Yeah. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's just trying to make myself more valuable as a person, and that's what I value. Ever since 14, like learning how to do music and stuff like that, I've always been a person that liked learning and liked picking up new skills. So wrestling has just found a way to itch that bug to where I'm like, oh, if I can learn this, and I can learn this, and I can learn this, and if I get this and mix it with this, then it's this, and it's kind of like mixing chemistry, but with wrestling.
And what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off what you are all about?
Ooh, okay. I would say any match where it's me and JKM one-on-one. That like there's one where for Motivate Pro Wrestling where me and JKM wrestled at a Pizza Hut. And to this day, that's still one of my favorite matches because we really pushed each other and beat the heck out of each other. But it's definitely one that if you want to see what Tomas Silva is about, check that one out.
I think it begs
And if you get... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, what was you saying?
Oh, yeah, and if you get the chance, watch this newest one between me and JKM because that also was a very hard-hitting match.
I think what people really want to know was how was the pizza?
I couldn't tell you because I cannot eat pizza on road trips. I am lactose intolerant and I have IBS. So
okay.
If I can make a choice, but so because the thing is I could have had pizza before my match, after the match, but if I have it before the match, I'm scared of JKM's favorite move is the double stomp, and I think IBS mixed with pizza and the double stomp in front of a crowd is not a good mixture.
No, it is not.
But I could also eat pizza after the show and make the whole people or make the car ride very awkward with the other people I have in the car. So I just decided to just stay away. Courtesy.
All right. And those matches, can we find your matches with JKM on YouTube?
Yes, you can find it on Motivate Pro Wrestling's YouTube channel.
Perfect. I will grab those matches from YouTube, and I will put a link to them in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox for anybody that hasn't seen them, wants to see them, wants to re-see them after this interview.
Perfect. Thank you.
And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is our
Okay.
speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
I believe I am.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Shawn Michaels.
Worst wrestler.
Shoot, that's mean. Spike Dudley.
Oh, no love for Spike Dudley.
I'm sorry, Spike. I like technical stuff.
You're main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Sami Zayn.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
It would be Eddie Guerrero's music. I've always liked the Viva la Raza. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is...
Alive. And me.
We would have also accepted taste great on toast.
Oh, interesting.
Squash. Vegetable or fruit?
Vegetable.
It is indeed a fruit.
Dang, I didn't know that.
Yes, it has seeds. Tomato logic.
Oh, now I know.
Yes. New Japan wrestler Taichi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
Ooh, I mean, it depends on what your goal is. If you're trying to really sell merch, you want to have a little bit of butt cheek hanging out, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. I thought about doing it, but I don't want to. I want to at least leave an opportunity for the other guys at the merch stands to make some money. So I haven't done that yet, but if you want to make some money, just leave a little bit of cheek sticking out, and you'll be good. But it's up to you.
Okay, so a little bit of cheek.
Yes.
And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
No, I have not. Not that I can occur.
And that is the correct answer. And
All right.
that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me on. It was fun.
Absolutely. And once again, where can we find all things Tomas Silva on social media?
Just look up the Marcel Cachumeno on Instagram, Facebook, X, Threads. I got a TikTok going. I got a YouTube going. If you want to check out my music stuff, check out Gravity on all of the same stuff. And that's pretty much it. I'm hoping to come to a city near you. So this next year, 2024, should be a big one.
And you don't have to type it into your Google machine. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox. Simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Give him a damn follow.
Yeah.
Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment both on YouTube and Castbox. Join us tomorrow as we interview Ray Genesis, and join us every Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews. Follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Instagram, and Thread for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, when I say wrestling wit, you say entertainment, okay?
Alrighty.
For our very special guest, Tomas Silva, Calico Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling Wit
Entertainment! Yeah.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.